So happy October 25th. We just hosted Experience doTERRA last weekend, and I just want to share a quick experience from that. Um, we have a dear friend who came to that, and they were not feeling great. Life's thrown some real lemons at them lately, and they're just having a down day. And so that was coming into the event, started on Friday, just really not feeling great, really hard to feel any hope. And by Friday night, they were shining, they were on fire, they were back in love, they were just so passionate about everything, about their life, their prospects. And Natalie and I joked that, we need to charge people extra for coming to Experience doTERRA who have that kind of therapeutic benefit. It was literally like the batteries were recharged, the blood came back to their veins. It's like they just kind of got reborn, and so it was just a good reminder of the need that we have as humans for that connection. That's just how we're wired. We are wired for human connection. And so do whatever it takes to keep reaching out, to keep connecting, to keep hosting, bringing your team together. It's what we crave. And doTERRA, as a really cool byproduct, if you create that community, that's what doTERRA compensates you for. So just a good reminder to me how much each of us craves connection and how we crave service. Like that friend of ours came to serve, and in return, they were served in such a huge way. So it's a beautiful thing. The power of events, the power of connection, the power of just putting yourself out there, and even when you don't feel like it, just showing up to serve. Such a great gift. Yes, loving your comments. Oh, I love it. I see a couple of you made a connection as accountability partners and business buddies. So way to make that happen. Way to reach cross line and say, hey, let's serve each other, right? Two people who have no vested interest in each other except to serve and be served, to love and be loved. Such a powerful thing. So on that topic, can I just give an invitation? I know that it's easy. It's in our lower natures, I guess you could say, to look upline and downline and think they should be doing more. They should be doing this. They shouldn't be doing that. And just create a lot of stories around how people should or shouldn't be showing up. And I just want to give each of us permission today to let go of that story, to set it down, and to not pick it back up again. It's so easy to just get into a rut and tell ourselves, this is how it should or shouldn't be. And it doesn't serve to marry our stories, to jump into judgment of upline, downline. And I think that's part of the reason that cross-line collaboration becomes so powerful, is because there's no judgment there. People come with fresh eyes and say, hey, I'm looking for someone to run with, and we don't have any vested interest in each other's business. So let's just serve and be served. But that potential is 10 times as great with upline and downline if we let go of the stories. So just want to give that invitation today to release, to forgive, to give yourself permission to start over without the story, without the script of should or shouldn't, need or don't need, all of those strings that we like to put into those relationships. The relationship becomes so much richer without attachment. Good morning, friend.
I mean, you are in some rich conversation.
We're having fun.
I didn't realize we were going to start the morning with like, hey, welcome to, welcome to like deep transformation. I love this conversation though. I just smile because it's like how often your suffering comes from your attachments and comes from expectation, right? I think William Shakespeare was quoted as saying, expectation is the root of all heartache. Think about that. And you go, well, how do we have, then sometimes in relationships, yes, but also, understanding or connection or boundaries or all of that language, right? And it's like, it's a dynamic to navigate, but truly a lot of the reason for any of us, myself included, when we're experiencing suffering or we're experiencing that frustration or that heartache is, we now have a lot of layered expectation upon it.
Yeah.
Because like when you model out, when you're cross line and there's no like, quote, you need to show up for me a certain way as my upline, like, hey, and at some level, we're projecting childhood wounds there, right? And the ways our needs perhaps didn't get met, like, you need to be this kind of mom or dad, or show up for me as an upline in this way. And, or, hey, you're in my downline, you need to perform for me. You need to get it together. Why aren't you getting it together? But when you're in cross line, you're like, I don't have any expectation of you. So I can just truly enjoy you, appreciate you, and be in it. I love when you're modeling that, because it's like, wow, what if we could have that same energy within all the relationships? So just a great thing to at least consider. So thank you for having already such a rich conversation brewing this morning.
Yeah. And I just want to be clear that I'm not the poster child for this. Like, we've had our own journey. I still remember when we launched, and we were outranking our upline, and so we love to tell people that, just to demonstrate, hey, you can make more than your upline. You can pave your own way and be your own leader. But I think Natalie and I took that too far by kind of de-edifying our upline and making it seem like we were in some ways better than them, or just because we ranked faster. And we had to go through a real process of forgiveness and releasing there, and I'm still working on it. And so it's a journey, and when we get to give ourselves grace in that process, to be imperfect, but to be showing up day over day, day after day, to just show up imperfectly and give and receive grace. So yeah, I love the analogy of a tree. If your upline is like the roots of a tree, and your downline is like the branches of a tree, you never dig up and start whacking off chunks of the root and saying, yeah, we don't need you anymore. You're slower than us. You're slowing us down. You're just, you're making us weak. You're the weak link. Like, what's going to happen before long as we hack away at the roots, right? It's this tree of love requires flow, and it happens up, down, cross. Like, it's all about the flow. Whoever can create the most flow creates the most thriving business. So.
Oh, say that again, you guys. You got the mic drop. You get the mic drop early this morning. Say it one more time.
Back to flow. Like, whoever creates the most flow creates the most strongest, healthiest, most business.
A to the men on that. Can we talk about a key principle that puts you in the flow? Because I'm so like pumped on it that I'm stoked and
bring it.
Timing. So again, what Andy just said, right? How many of you know what he just said is so very true, which is the flow state, the energy, the vibe that you're in. It's like, I want to show up and serve and have a good time and help transform lives. And we practice that. Is one of the most powerful things you can do to put yourself in a flow state is practicing certain mindsets, right? That then flow into yourself, into your body, into what you're creating. And one of my most favorite power principles to help you practice getting in the flow state. Guess what I'm going to say? Does anyone know what I'm going to say? Put it in the chat box. We'll see if you're going to get it. It's one of my favorite principles you can practice that puts you in flow state, that puts you in the good, that puts you in manifestation mojo and momentum and energy. What's it going to be? What am I going to say? Oh, look at these friends.
We have good students here. Someone's
Oh,
been listening.
goody. A lot of you are here. Several of you are saying gratitude, 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 gratitude. Yep, gratitude, gratitude. You've got it. It's that time of year, my friends, where my 12th annual gratitude series kicks off next Wednesday, November 1st. It's free. It's the free feel good series of the year, and it's a month-long experience. We have 5 live coaching sessions together for all 5 Wednesdays in November. We have an incredible lineup. I'm not going to tell you just yet who that is, but let's just say we started early this year of like, let's secure some of the best and brightest. We're going to have an amazing lineup. I'll be sharing that in the gratitude series first in the Facebook group. If you haven't yet joined that Facebook group, find us there. The Facebook group stays intact all year round. And so all year round is different things are happening and gatherings and quotes and podcasts and ideas and YouTube links and people sharing insights and heartfelt things and good things. That community is nourishing, so valuable, so nourishing. You can find us there is gratitude series on Facebook. And that's also where you still need to register yourself at gratitudeseries.com is the web URL and get linked to the Zooms and the recordings. So even if you can't attend live, you do have access for 7 days following each live session for free that you can plug into that. But I'm going to invite you, if at all possible, to be there live. We'll be there Wednesdays live at noon Mountain Standard. Becky's asking in the chat box what time. And so that's 11 a.m. Pacific, noon Mountain, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live each of those Wednesdays in November. So that is coming up. Friend, but I'm just telling you, this is it. It's more than just like, oh, a platitude. When gratitude becomes a practice, I had a podcast go live on Tuesday. If you've not had a chance to listen to that, called Gratitude is Potent Medicine. And the power of realizing, literally, if you go to Google right now and search, put in your search box, gratitude health benefits. In your Google search box, it's going to pop you up several articles that legit will tie back to medicinal studies in relation to gratitude, from heart health and lowering depression and anxiety to sleeping better, right? That your overall, literally, that's, you'll see Harvard has articles and UCLA Health and Mayo Clinic. I know this because I did research for this recent podcast where literally there's correlation to more than just feel good and it's a nice plaque in our home. It literally, when we start to practice and embody gratitude, what's happening, how it impacts your physical body, but also it puts you mentally, emotionally in a better space. And it's definitely a primer for manifestation, is the power of energy and flow. And one of the things I've gotten to practice, and you'll hear me say that a lot, is a gratitude practice, is notice that there's lots of times my feelings I'm not feeling grateful. There's plenty of times I'm not feeling positive. I saw some of you in the chat box talking about grief and loss, and like even this conversation about uplines and downlines and relationships. Like all of us have stuff that's up for us right now in this moment, the time that we're meeting. I do, you do, we all do. And so it's just realizing now that, of course, there's seasons where things ebb and flow, but it's just this awareness we can practice gratitude. We can drop in and practice generosity or ways to serve or love, and even towards ourselves, right? Gratefulness towards yourself, kindness, grace, as Andy was just using that language, towards yourself, towards others, but dropping into being an intentional practice. Now, this course is normally somewhere, if people were paying for this, we would be charging a minimal of $497 for a month long of coaching. But the practice of this, we open it up as totally free all of November. And it's just feel good. We laugh together, we cry together, we grow together, but we get in the good and we practice some of these tools of how do I help switch my thoughts, right? Many of you have asked that at times in our live sessions here. How do I switch my limited or negative thinking? How do I get myself into expanding or expressing or believing that I'm worth more, deserve more? And we practice together an entire month. It's a rich experience. So I'm looking forward to it. Share it with your team, share it with your friends, family, any age. They don't have to be growing doTERRA to join us. We have people all around the world. It's not a business coach training course. It's literally true principles. So age, business, life, wherever they're at, it's going to be a rich, nourishing experience. So we'll see you there. Remember, you need to sign up though at gratitudeseries.com. Just that way you can get all of the Zoom links and the details to join us live. So I'm looking forward to that, Andy.
Awesome.
And I've been in this
Okay.
journal creation space. I have a journal that's just about to go to press that started out thinking about a gratitude journal years ago, and it's grown into what I'm calling my creation journal. And
Fun.
some of you may have seen this on social because I asked you to weigh in on which cover, because I have such a great designer. We narrowed it down to two. And then I was like, I literally love both of these, right? So we're working that out. But some of you may have seen this, but it's a combination of a vision journal where you do visioning work. Some of you hear me say this in our coaching here too, of visit your vision, right? Have a space where you're visiting your vision, you're seeing it, you're practicing that too. Then your gratitude journal, your daily gratitude listing. And then a process years ago, I started just naturally kind of doing my own gratitude journal is I'd write about 3/4 of the page of gratitude and kind of fill up that, like sometimes 1 column, 2 or 3 columns, but just I was doing all of this gratitude writing. And then I naturally, about the last third of the page, I would write another block statement of I am manifesting ... Or I'd even write it as a prayer. Thank you, God, for helping me manifest, or, this kind of language. And I would write out a few things that I was focused on manifesting, right? Whether in life and business, in relationship, in my home, in my health. And whether they were statements like, I am moving my body every day to, I'm attracting 2 new clients to this, to that, whatever. It's a powerful place that in the same spot, like I just said, gratitude is a great primer. If you want to write that down. And some of you heard that in the podcast this week, right? Some of you, Esther was just saying, yes, I was listening to your podcast about gratitude this morning, but gratitude is a great primer. Right? It puts you in flow state. Like when Andy said flow state, it just totally triggered like, oh, yes, I want to go deeper on that. Is when you're in the gratitude mindset. And part of practicing writing your gratitudes is even if you're like, you wake up or things aren't going as great, or there's something you're really anxious about, but you still get in the practice, right? No matter how we're feeling, we're practicing it. It puts you in a primed state to then be focusing on, here's what I want to call into my life. Here's what I want to experience more of. Here's what I want to see in my doTERRA business. Here's the kind of sales or impact or lives I want to touch. Here's what I want in my own health. Here's how I want to show up today. It's so powerful that I love. So the journal creates a space where you do both on a daily basis. And then the final line says inspired action. You guys, I haven't told anyone about that, what's inside the journal except y'all until just right now. So you get to hear it first. It's not for sale just yet. It's literally loading as we speak, right? With my designer, I'll keep you posted, but I'm excited for this and what we're creating, but bringing us home to practicing, right? And whether you join in on this or not, it's just that's not my content. That's the universe's content. That's God's work. I'm just teaching it, which is when you want to, if one of the ways I feel closest to God is to practice gratitude. Because if I'm feeling good and grateful, I'm feeling God. And when I'm close to God, I'm also feeling good and feeling grateful, right? They are all interconnected because those are higher states of practice that we're choosing to be part of. But it's God's work. I just put it in my own little language and the way we get to teach it and create great space. So I'm so looking forward to it. Can you believe it's the last week of October?
I know. It's the home stretch.
Home stretch. And guess what? I don't know if you know this in the weather, but our weather overnight tonight drops by about 18 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, Tiff, I know.
Originally, the forecast showed snow. They've backed off of that, and I'm grateful. But yeah, it's not pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was mentioning earlier in Montana, they had a huge snowstorm and they only got 3 inches. So
I
I saw on
know.
the news that North Dakota got dumped on too. So,
Mhm.
yep.
Well, notice I'm in a sweater and I have black fingernails, so it's like we must be in fall
Oh,
because here we go, right? And it's just
I
like
love it.
I got all my sweaters out over the weekend, and it actually I was like, okay, I am grateful we've had several warm days, and there's no snow yet in the forecast. Just yet.
And can I just give ourselves props a little bit here because we've got Halloween just days away.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you and I have talked about candy one time this whole Halloween season.
We haven't talked about candy.
Not during the Halloween, the Easter. Now that's a different story, but I'm talking about Halloween.
I gotcha.
I'm kind of, I don't want to pat ourselves too hard on the back, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I feel you. I think, you know what? We do get some recognition for that.
Yeah.
Except, listen, I gotta out myself. I may have bought some Halloween treats yesterday for other people, and I may have eaten just one though, not a full package. I may
All
have
right.
eaten a peanut butter cup.
Well, as long as
So
there's
maybe
no,
we're not talking about it, but maybe I did partake.
well, as long as it's not dairy milk, like, oh my gosh, can you
No,
imagine?
no, it is.
I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
know.
talking about when
Oh
Brett
yeah.
went out and bought cow milk.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a time my husband was like, I went out of town and he's telling about all the various things he was up to over the weekend. And I was like, okay, great. Okay, great. And he's like, and I may have bought a box of cereal and dairy milk. And I was like, you bought dairy? So it's this funny joke where it was like, of all the things your husbands could be up to, right? And we
There could be
laugh about
worse.
it so much, but there's more to that story. It's just not for public knowledge to hear. There's more about what he'd shared and this and this. And then when he said that, it was just so funny that was like, hey.
The straw that broke the camel's
Yeah,
back.
see, Jennifer gets it. Peanut butter cups are an exemption. And again, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do 20 of them, but I did have one.
Amen.
And me and my girlfriends have this Halloween cookie making tradition with the best sugar cookies, you guys, and frosting with almond frosting. And we made those Monday night here at my home. And guess what? I ate like half of one yesterday afternoon and it knocked me out. I was like, I got to take a
Wow.
nap. It's like,
Dang.
I can't have it. So those are going to be given away.
Oh, okay.
It's just fun. Anyway, I am proud of us and I am grateful. And we do have tools to also help us with these things. So, that's so powerful.
Love it.
Just take a picture of
So
that.
good.
Hey, Angela,
Can you
thank
jump
you
into
for
some
that heads
coaching?
up. Let's drop into some coaching.
Awesome. So raise your hand if you want to come on live. We would love to support you and just help you work through goals, mindset, doTERRA questions. Yeah, let's talk shop, right? Let's brainstorm your business, your heart set and your mindset. Just go ahead and raise your hand and we can bring you on live. Or post in the chat.
Now let's drop into coaching. I did have a thought I want to lead into as anyone that I thought about as I was getting ready for this call about half an hour or more ago. In prep, I was thinking about y'all and being the last week of the month. And there's just this concept. You've heard me share this before, but it's been a minute since we've shared it. One of my very favorite quotes of all time is a quote by Robert Stevenson, where he says, "Don't judge the day by the harvest you reap. Judge the day by the seeds that you plant." And I just want you guys to think about, I want you to get really intentional and make a conscious decision from your vision, from your best self, highest self, favorite self. I want you to make a decision that I want you to decide, how do you want to wrap up the month of October? Right? I mean, we're October 25th today. We go till obviously the 31st Tuesday. You have 6 more days of this month. And I just invite you to get really intentional to, quote, leave it all on the field, right? Sometimes we say that in a sports analogy, leave it all on the field. But whether you're having an amazing month and you're really close to your breakthrough goal that you're working towards, or your next rank, or you feel really deflated of like things have not gone the way I want them to this month, I want you to think about dropping in and whether, or somewhere in between, but being really intentional about the way you show up and the way you wrap this month, right? Don't just wait till next Wednesday and like, okay, I'll start over November 1st, or forget, I'll just wait until January 1st, or I'll just wait till the kids are out of school, or wait till the kids are back in school, or wherever we're at. Is I just invite you, take a deep breath, find yourself, in your body in this moment, and making some very intentional decisions about how do you want to show up. You can't control sales. You can't control a rank advance. You influence a rank advance, of course. You influence your sales, but the only thing you directly control is how you show up. And you've heard me say this before, so I'm just reminding us of a very potent, powerful truth. And that is, again, to have effort-based goals. Is rather than having them only be outcome-based, which is, oh, I rank advanced, or I didn't rank advance, or I made X amount of sales, or I did not, is focus on how many people am I going to nourish this week, this day? Content I'm going to put out on social media, nourishing of existing customers, gatherings or webinars, or putting those types of things together. I just want you all to come home to your power and focusing again on the seeds that you plant, focusing on the efforts you make. Because again, that is what you can directly control. And I want you, like what Christina just said in the chat box, I want to wrap up October feeling strong and positive, creating momentum and joy. Yes. So be intentional about creating that. And it's like, how many people are you going to contact, or content are you going to put out on your socials if you're using social to connect or grow your business, or send out an email to your customer base, or whatever it might be, but that you're nourishing and you're showing up intentionally. That's so important, is that that's going to give you a lot of sense of self-confidence, regardless of how your results lie the last day of October, is I showed up. And I didn't quit when I was like, oh, it's okay to get discouraged, right? You've heard me say that. You can visit the zip code of discouragement. You can be bummed for a minute. You can be like, dang it. It's like the Goddards and Founders in July. All that happenstance went down. And I was like, are we there yet? And Andy's like, no. And I was like, I thought we were there. And it was like, well, we had a misstep. And our son didn't process his LRP loyalty rewards order.
Yep.
And we were like, okay, you can visit the land of like discouragement, or the land of like, my son, I might just freak out. But you also, then it's like, okay, how are we going to end the month? How are we going to show up? And doing so is, you never know. You might literally see an incredible breakthrough in the next 6 days. I mean, 6 days with intentional effort, a lot of magic can happen.
Yep.
But the deal is, it's got to be intentional, because those 6 days, the next 6 days are going to go by, whether you're intentional, whether you hang out, whether you check in, you check out, you're kind of there, maybe there partly, but kind of, it's like you get to decide, how am I going to choose to show up? And be intentional about the effort and leave it on the field and plant the seeds. So that was on my heart this morning as I was thinking about my day ahead and joining y'all. And it was like, I want to bring them home to their power, because that's where your power's at, is in you. And again, how you are choosing to show up.
So good. So true. I saw in the questions that somebody was asking about what are doTERRA's plans for holiday products. Traditionally, they come out with a holiday guide, and so 'tis the season. And then somebody posted that this year they're doing a digital guide. So don't wait for a print guide to show up. But usually it is 1st November that comes out. If anybody else knows a specific date, that'd be great. Yeah, definitely watch for that. Somebody else is posting that they made their own doTERRA chocolate. They made some On Guard truffles, which sounds divine. I wonder if the On Guard cancels out the sugar in that. Just kidding. Okay.
Listen, hey, how much meta power do we have to take in a day to like cancel
That's right.
out? You know, no, a little, you do you. I just like to not do I don't do very much sugar. It's just every once in a while. But
So
sugar's not, I don't make sugar the bad guy, right?
yeah.
Yes.
So traditionally for Halloween, and we have this this little fight every year. Natalie always wants to give out the PB Assist Juniors for trick-or-treaters that come to our door. And every year the kids are like, Mom, Dad, that's so lame. Like, come on. Our neighbors are giving out like king size peanut butter cups, you know? But Natalie sticks to her guns. Usually it's apples because we have some friends with an apple orchard, and or PB Assist Junior. So anyways, the struggle never ends, right?
Oh, I love it. Well, some years I've given out things that are like little bit like Play-Dohs and toys and things like that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
great.
your house is like the dentist house
Love
handing
that.
out the toothbrush.
Yeah.
Here's your new toothbrush. Maybe they should get little sample bottles of On Guard, right? Like, hey, put this on your body and da da da. Yeah.
Yeah, we should be giving out the MetaPower PB Assist, right? Take this with your candy.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, I thought I saw, okay, Jennifer has a question. So let's see if we can bring her on. She's about to teach her first class. So if you want to accept coming on as a panelist, Jennifer, then we can answer your question. And yes, the PB Assist Plus definitely tastes like candy. It's a sweet treat. All right, Jennifer, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm pretty excited about this class that I'm going to be teaching, first class. And the woman, she is a client of mine who's going to be hosting the class. And it's going to be women over 60. And she kind of wanted to do a DIY in this class. And I just wondered if anybody had thoughts on a DIY for women over 60 aging. We're going to talk a lot about MetaPower and, just how to keep the body moving. I'm a massage therapist, body worker, and personal trainer. So I have a lot of different, that side of the coin, but then also doTERRA, and my client and member loves doTERRA. So she wants to share it with her friends. And yeah, a DIY, if anybody has a thought on that.
Yeah, I love that. Everybody put in the chat, what are your ideas? If you were hosting a DIY for women over 60, what are some thoughts? Barbara says Dr. Teal's bath salt with serenity oil. Love that.
Thank you.
Roger says Clary Calm Bone Nutrient and Phyto. Yeah. What else? What are some other ideas? I know personally, with age, I know a lot of times circulation becomes a struggle. And so the Aroma Touch hand technique, it's not really a DIY, but it's kind of a demo that you can do in class. I know it's a game changer for so many people, especially when they start getting, neuropathy or like people with diabetes. It's a great tool. Charlotte suggests dry brushing. Becky says stress rollers. Cindy says foot roller balls. Is that what that means?
Flute. I think she means like the flume, frankincense, lemon, oregano, On Guard, and now instead of saying it Melaleuca, it's tea tree.
Oh, nice.
So it's an immune booster, right? That you can roll on your spine, roll on your feet, roll it on your kids, your sweetheart, whoever. Yeah.
Love that.
I think calming type things, I agree with like what's been suggested with like the serenity or adaptive or creating maybe your own, like a calming type blend for any age is really good, right? I know you're targeting a niche specific, but when I think about all humans, and it's just like, yes, but especially it's like, if you're dealing with certain health things or changes in body and things like that, I love the added element too, for sure, of like, give me something that helps me calm.
Yeah, that's great. I'm also going to do a beauty drink. I'm going to do the Meta Power with coconut milk and an orange and blend it up. So,
Mm,
something
okay.
along those lines of beauty and increasing the collagen and of course nicotinamide, mononucleotide, and all the great molecules that come with it. So yeah, great. These are fabulous. Thank you so much, everyone, for digging in and sharing your thoughts on that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, these are all really good. I love gathering. I think, thank you for bringing this back up, is like, I think that's so wise to gather, of all kinds of gatherings, whatever you want to do. Like, I love, Maria was saying last holiday, I did a holiday peace plan workshop and I got mini roller bottles off Amazon. And then they had like 3 options they could make. But whether you're going to do one specific for women's health of this age range to the holidays, immune boosting, or, make your quote stocking stuffers. I love one of the ones Haley was talking about. I've been a recipient of one of her DIYs. She was saying one of her most popular DIYs is a potty spray, right? Like, how what is that brand called? I'm not thinking of it in the moment.
Poopery.
Poopery, yeah. So like you have the little bathroom sprays, and she makes obviously some of those with then much better, chemical compounds with the oils. She's gifted me one of those in the past and just love it. It's like a room spray or a potty spray, that kind of thing. She says with a decorated roll of toilet paper, right? I know that's not what you're asking directly, Jennifer, but as we're talking about this, I want it on the recording to just help y'all have different ideas of like, gather people, make those cute. Like Barbara was saying, put, a little bath salts in a cute jar, or make roller bottles, and be diffusing and healthy food or snacks. Like you were saying, your coconut Meta Power drink and things like that, where people can come be pampered. You might even just call it like a customer appreciation night or a pampering night or girls or guys night in type thing, or, holiday this or that, and gather people, love on them. And whether you charge for it or not, right? Like I've seen certain make and takes of like, hey, $5 a roller bottle, or it's just a way of gifting and nourishing people into your funnel. And it's a free gathering type thing, as seeing a way to, nourish people and then be prepared to make sales there on site, right? It's like, hey, if any of these you'd like to purchase or own, or fill out a form and we can do a one-on-one consult, a wellness consult, those types of things. So anyway, thank you for bringing this up, because I think it's so smart to, put that together. Haley, I know you're on Facebook or Haley, are you on Zoom and Facebook? I think you're on our Facebook Live, which is where Andy, your thing. Christina's asking for your recipe for the potty spray or the room spray.
So good. And Tiffany, thank you for reminding us that so many will be watching this on replay. So just for their benefit, I think I'm going to go through and just read a lot of the ideas that have been put in here, just because this is such a great brainstorm right here.
Yeah.
So thank you for that reminder. Okay, I'm back in the Halloween conversation, so I went back too far. Okay, so Haley suggests a DIY potty spray. Cindy says we've done sleep blends, and then we show simply the cells technique and do a drawing for the aroma touch, done right after or in a break if massage tape is available. Roger says peppermint for hot flashes. On Facebook, somebody says aroma touch body scrub. Holiday peace plan workshop. They get mini roller bottles off of Amazon, and they give 3 options to make a roller bottle. And then energy support roller coaster, juniper berry rollers for less bathroom visits during the night. And then Haley also says cranky pants spray using repurposed bottles, using any uplifting oils. Awesome. Becky says foot soaks. It's been really popular and well received. Okay. And then Vicky on Facebook says, I think I don't know which recipe this is. 15 drops of Aroma Touch, 1 tablespoon carrier oil, and then a clean sugar of choice in a small glass jar. Okay, Haley says she'll share the recipes here in a sec when she can get to it.
Yeah, good things. You have a lot of options that you can create from, right? Like you have a lot of things that just ability to connect and gather, and how valuable that is in doing that. Now, again, some of your
That's
gatherings
great.
you do online, but I love the power of being in person.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And my friend and client member, she's got 30 ladies already that she has
Wow.
on her list and that we are going to be inviting. So for my first class, this is feeling very wow.
That's
That's
amazing.
amazing, love.
Trying to feel calm and centered with all that
Mhm.
is
Way to go.
yeah, an amazing feeling. So
That's great.
yeah. If it wasn't for convention, I don't know that this would have happened, because when we were in convention, there was that contest where we had to, reach out to people, and we could have Emily Wright potentially be at our event. And I thought, oh yeah, totally want Emily at my event. So I started reaching out to people and I got yeses. And so I didn't
Wow.
win, but I did win these lovely people who are open to having classes, because I don't have space in my home for sharing classes except one-on-ones. And so this is going to be it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. I wanted to also share really quickly, if you don't mind. Sorry, the train's going by right now. I was at Costco the other day, and there was a mom with like 5 kids, and one of them was just screaming his head off. And I gently went over and just said, can I help you? I had my adaptive roller ready. And she's like, no, it's all right. It's all right. She's like in tears and red. And just this one little boy did not want to be in the cart. He wanted to walk. And she said, no, we've tried that. We've got to get through the store. And I said, look, if I can just do one thing for you, I said, just smell this. And she did. And she calmed down. And the other 4 kids that weren't screaming their heads off, they all wanted some. So I put it on their wrists. And then the little boy who was screaming, he kind of calmed down, was like, what's going on? And then he was adamant about not wanting the adaptive on, or he didn't want to smell it. And I said, look, it's like Christmas morning. I said, you got to smell it, And he kind of looked at me, and the other kids all said, yeah, it's great, So he said, okay. So I put it on his wrist. He rubbed it on. They walked away in a calm little cloud over them. And I was like, I didn't do any kind of salesy thing. I didn't like give a card. I didn't say, contact me if you want more, or any of that. But I walked away with such an amazing feeling of gratitude, how I could help that mom. And I know I'm a mom and I've been there. So it felt amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Well done, friend.
So, thank you.
So good.
Thank you, doTERRA.
That makes
Yeah.
me so happy.
I know. That's so fun. And it's like, and many times people will ask you in that scenario, can you tell me, or can I learn more, or whatever? Do you legit were just on purpose of I can help and let me help? And like, I just love that you were living that.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
to embody non-attachment, right? We talked earlier about the
Yes.
power of not having strings, right? And so when you go out and you serve that mom in so much need, like that's the place to be in right there.
Yeah.
Not attached to a sale, not attached to them coming to a class or any kind of follow-up, just like, hey, I'm here to serve.
Totally. Yeah. It was awesome. So
Wow.
go
Thank
out
you.
and share, right?
Thank you for being a light. And congrats on your first class with over 30 people signed up. That is off the charts.
Yeah. Thank you. I will share It's November 10th. So
Please.
we've
Yeah,
got
we've
some
got lots
time.
of people in the comments asking you for, give us come back and report. Let us know how that goes and what recipes you end up using. We'd all love to
Yeah,
hear.
cool. I'll do that. Thank you. Thanks for taking me
Yeah,
on today. I appreciate that.
absolutely. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
So fun.
I love it.
Oh, so great. Not bad for a first class. I think we had 2 people show up at our first class.
No.
And then our
It's
second
like, hey,
class, we had 0.
yeah,
That's how we launched.
so true. But you know what? Just like keep putting it out there and you just never
Yep.
know. You have a lot of people come, you have a few come. What you can control is that you're hosting and gathering and contacting and creating the space. And the more that you create a space that it's like, ooh, I'm loving this, more people talk and share about that. Like, I think, let me come back just a little bit. Becky was talking about doing foot soaks with their next class, and they've had more people sign up and bring friends to that class than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, people just want to connect and be nourished. And so it's so true. And so the more that it's like, it has that vibe, like, come be nourished. Let me pamper you. Come be nourished. Come be nourished. Come connect. People are like, oh, I want to come to that. And then, yes, you're seeding, of course, sales in that, or seeding other opportunities for education or expansion of taking it further. But you're creating a space. If people feel nourished and pampered and they're just like, I feel so good, like how powerful that is, then that does lead into sales and opportunities. So anyway, I want y'all thinking about this, and more than thinking about it, if we were privately coaching, you don't have to pay me the big bucks for that. It's like, what's your plan going into the next 60 days? How are you gathering people? How are you connecting? How are you nourishing? And to get something scheduled. And even if you're going to start planning, then of course for Q1, even, I know some of you are thinking in that, like the new year, new you, start thinking about those types of things that you're hosting or gathering. So powerful.
So true. The other thing that kind of stood out when Jennifer was sharing, like, she specifically set up this class just for women over 60.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most of us, I think when we think about our target market, and we kind of think, well, I want to serve people with bodies. That's my target market. People with human bodies. That's my target market. Well, there's actually power in getting really specific and going all in on one demographic. Like, it turns out that just like the principle of essentialism, if you choose to go deep with one demographic, you can actually go like so far. And it's counterintuitive the way it works, but when you serve that one demographic so well, it creates momentum in a way that you wouldn't believe. So anyone who's out there thinking, oh, inviting's not working anymore, people aren't showing up to my events, try going deep on one demographic. Try creating just this all in, like, I'm all in with this one group of people, and there's power there. It actually works. So
yeah,
good.
so good. Okay, wow, we have like 3 minutes left. All of a sudden, I just realized that. Do we have another question we want to tuck in?
I don't see any raised hands. So if anybody does have any last questions, go ahead and raise your hand. Otherwise, I think we can wrap. So good. So Maria is talking about the emotions certification, and going all in with that. That is a powerful principle and power play, to say, you know what, I am leading an emotional healing revolution, and that's going to be my focus. Maybe for the next quarter, maybe the next year, I'm just going to go all in with that. And I think you'll be blown away by
Mhm.
how effective that can be and how far you can go just choosing one message or one core audience that you go
Mhm.
after. So
Mhm. And I would say something that's really popular language in that emotions world right now is regulating your nervous system. That phrase is a regulated nervous system. Like even I've seen that on lots of, different accounts of like, what's really attractive in dating someone today? A regulated nervous system, and even like, oh, and you're like, yes, isn't that so true? But having those skills and tools of like that language is being used a lot. So if you want to consider that in some of your marketing, that kind of thing. But talking again about the outcomes of, feeling peace and calm and grounded and being able to, have clarity and decisiveness and be able to process and support tools that help you do that. So I think that's so valuable. And so you're saying her question was, do I go even more niche within emotions? Because everyone has emotions. I don't think you need to. I mean, that's one area of health that you're really going deep on. But maybe you talk about, again, a regulated nervous system and calm and grounding and, navigating life with more peace, things like that.
somebody's asking, how do I choose a target market? Like, how do I decide who I'm going to work with? You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. The business building guide is your guide to success. So there's a page designed just for this, and it's called Target Your Message on page 25. So it's a 2-page little worksheet, and it just takes you through, who it is that you're seeking, who do you want to serve, and what is it you want to solve. It's a really, really simple but really powerful process. So I highly recommend that you dive into that. Obviously the business building guide is a free download. So just hop on to doTERRA's Empowered Success page. I just Google doTERRA Empowered Success, and that's how you get it. Or you can buy a printed one from there as well.
Mm-hmm. Powerful. These are all good ideas and be thinking about. And ultimately too, I would say, target market is just like what's a need, what's something you're passionate about, right? That can also help you zero in on that. Or who do you love working with? And you're like, well, I love working with everyone. And the reality is these products do support anyone in a body. But you might say, I really want to help the new mamas, right? I'm a postpartum mama focus. I really want to niche in with them. Or like Jennifer is saying, I want to help women that are in this age, or I want to help men with this or that, or I want to be on specific. I really want to go deep with gut health, right? Loves that gut health thing. I'm telling you, there's a big reason why doTERRA added that to their lineup. Partly, of course, because it's so central to your immune system, your body, your health, your skin. Like I saw someone post this in their stories about eczema is really your gut's cry for help.
Mm-hmm.
The things we see show up on the skin. That's why when people regularly in the last few years have been like, Tiff, you have this glow. It's a variety of things. Yes, it's my glow blend, but I've also been dialing in my own gut health and probiotics the last few years. And doTERRA's launched some great new products with that. But gut health is a great target you could be really taking your messaging to or focus on, right? And
Yeah.
so as an instance, so you might do emotions again, anxiety and stress or sleep is another one. And the new sleep system is like sleep might really be what you're targeting. And each quarter, you could even pick a different topic and go deeper on that topic within your community, right? And have classes around gut and then classes around sleep and then those around stress or anxiousness, or whatever. You could go target niche too to a particular body system as well. So anyway, lots of ideas, lots of things that you can be doing that help support you.
Okay, I just have to read this last one.
Hey,
Made me think of you, Tiff.
tell me
Jessica
more.
says, a dear friend hosted a Higgy night. Some would say Hygge, but we're saying Higgy here. It was awesome. Oils, soaks, cozy blankets, books, fireplaces, puzzles, tea, and open house style. Come find what you want and others, or tucked away in a corner. So fun.
That's my kind of get together.
That is it
That's
right
just
there.
really good. It's like, but again, it's like you focus on, hey, come be nourished, come be pampered, come be poured into.
Yeah.
And the more it has that vibe versus, hey, I think more of that versus even less of come be educated about essential oils. Okay, maybe, but come be nourished and pampered.
Yeah.
And they get educated about essential oils, but the intention is about, again, that outcome. So powerful.
So good.
Yeah, so good. Thank you for highlighting that. Y'all have a great week. Wrap up your October with intention. Put it on the field, so to speak, plant the seeds, get registered for the gratitude series, share that with your teams, friends, social networks, gratitudeseries.com. We kick off next Wednesday. People can join all month long. So even if they hear about it on the 3rd or 4th week, they're still going to have 2 or 3 live sessions to go and recordings to access. They have lots of support. I just invite you guys to get yourselves there, get registered now so you're prepped and ready to go for next week. Mr. Goddard, always a treat to be with you. Always.
Likewise.
Have a
Thank you
great
for
rest of
coming
your
and
day.
serving and pouring into us, Tiff.
Oh, so fun. I'll see you guys next Wednesday as we kick off November.
Okay, see you.